Notice we are not yet inside China. We are still looking at China in the context of the entire Eurasian landmass. This is the color green. Those of you know, maps use colors that try to suggest something, right? So what does the color green suggest to you? Land. What does the color brown suggest to you? That's land too. What does the color green suggest to you? Vegetation, thank you. All right, now, so this is a terrain feature of Eurasia that is very important to Chinese history. And notice, I'm talking about from here to here. All of it is important, especially to here, the Yellow River, where Chinese civilization started. What do you think this landmass, this terrain feature is? Anybody know? It's not agriculture. Remember, the agriculture started in the river valleys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plain. Why would it be green? Because of grass. Yes, yeah. See, just guess, right? What do you call grassland? That's not agricultural because notice, this is pretty far north, isn't it? Right? Here's like North Korea, right? This is Siberia. This is pretty far north. It's too far north for early agriculture. Growing seasons too short, weather too cold, blah, 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 right? So does anybody know what grasslands are called? There's a fancy terrain geographic word, S-T-E. Stereo, yes, steppe. Okay? Steppe. Please, please, please write that word down. Is geography destiny? Does the presence of the Eurasian steppe, the Great Eurasian Steppe, that's what it's called. Notice that thing's like, God, 6,000, 7,000 miles, east to west. This tells you what human geography now occupies this steppe. It's right on the screen. What type of human society occupies nomads? Nomads means they're not settled. Well, they're not settled because there's no farming there. So how do they live? Look at the picture. Pastoral. I have livestock eating the grass of pasture, and I'm living off of them. These are goats. We drink the goat milk. We eat the goat meat. We wear the goat skin. We wash our hair in the goat urine. Probably. Seriously. I repeat, I told you that India and China had no idea they existed. China was the only civilization on the planet. But it is best to picture this Eurasian steppe as, I picture it as a sea full of schools of fish swimming and wandering around just in their schools of fish, right? All sorts of different schools of fish, different types and varieties of fish in their schools, swimming around because there are different nomadic tribes. As a nomadic tribe, you can't get too large. Why?
Because then you can't support all the people.
You can't support a large population with this type of subsistence, right? And so when your population as a tribe gets to a certain unsustainable number, you've got to split into two tribes, right? So they are always, by definition, by necessity, pretty small, the tribes. And so just picture this, a big sea with different nomadic tribes on horseback, following their animals who are grazing the grass until they've grazed all the grass. Then what do we do? So that's what life looks like when you found good pasture. What is this called? It's a yurt, Y-U-R-T, right? You go to Mongolia, the Mongolians still live in them. It's the coolest thing in the world. And okay, well, now our herd has eaten up all of the grass in this area, so what do we need to do? We got to move. And so what do we do with this thing? Just pack it up because it's a tent, right? And then how do we move? Do we carry it on our back? Horse. What do both of these nomads of the steppe have in common? They're horse people. Picture this group, which speaks a different language, and maybe let's imagine this group having 20 women and 20 men and 50 goats. And it comes across, wow, this is not a good area. We got to keep moving here. There's no grass here. And they come across this group. And let's say they've got, what was the number of men and women here? 20 and 20, right? This one has 60 men and 60 women. No, let's make it more interesting. 60 men and 5 women. Now, what do you think is going to happen when they encounter each other? Come on, please, 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 help. Mix up. Put in English. 60 men, 5 women, 20 men, 20 women. Let's call this A and this B. A has 60 men, B has 20 men, A has 5 women. A will attack B because A wants. They're animals. Does that include? What else what particular animal are they short on right now? Women. Right? And by the way, men are animals too. We're all animals. Hello, welcome to science, biology, right? We're part of the animal kingdom, so it's not a sexist remark. Right, and if the tables were turned and these guys came across a group of 80 nomads and there's only 60 of them, right? Then what would the 80 want? Do you get my point here? What is life like for this unpredictable life where you are just wandering around and you might encounter another nomadic tribe? What kind of culture does that make? Warlike, thank you. Warlike. You've got to be good at defending yourself, which means you've got to be good at war. And in fact, you've also got to be good at seizing any opportunities, especially in times of hardship. Maybe it was a drought year and there's not a lot of grass, and some of our goats are starving and there's not much food, and so sometimes maybe we've got to be rapacious, we've got to be aggressive, we've got to plunder other people. 2 things to remember about these guys. A, they are warlike by necessity. B, they are mobile. They are on horse. Part of being warlike is being good at horsemanship. This is the human geography of China. They look around, they see no other civilization, they have no idea about India, but they see these guys moving in and out unpredictably over and over and over, and it is hugely, hugely, hugely influential. Most of the crashes, what's the first crash? Wave 1, what's the crash? Let's sing the song real quick. Shang, Joe. Quick. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, stop. What's the crash of the first wave? Warring states period. Guess what? That's not nomads. What's the crash of the second one? Period of disunity. Guess what? Nomads come in and they make their first major impact on Chinese history. I mean, they come in and they take over the Yellow River. Nomads take over. They don't just raid. Oh, nice women in that village. Let's go take them and the silk and the food and let's go back up to the steppe. No, they come in and they conquer and they rule. That's the period of disunity. What's the third crash? No, we'll get there. You don't really have to write that, but it's interesting. What's the third crash? Sui, Tang, Song, Yuan. And Yuan is who? Genghis Khan. And Genghis Khan is of what ethnicity? He's a Mongol, and those are nomads. So the Mongols cause the crash of wave 3. And then Song, Yuan, Ming, Qing. Qing is nomads, Manchus. So over and over and over again, this human geography of the steppe land is going to have a huge, huge, huge effect on China.